So, after last week's episode being kind of just a strange, all over the place, sort of odd mess, and with my overall issues with the show so far, Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush episode 8 kind of had me wondering where things were going to go. We're starting another little, 3-round tournament arc thing like we did a lot in Sevens, which I enjoy when done right. Except this was a Yuamu episode, and as all of you probably remember, I didn't really like Yuamu's first her-focused episode. And after seeing this one, I actually enjoyed this. Yeah, it's not the best episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. There's not a lot of stakes, not a lot's going on, there's nothing super juicy to talk about. But I think that's also kind of what works about it and why it's worth talking about. Because this episode kind of shows off the writer's strengths a lot more, and that is the character writing. By just kind of stripping the plot away for a few minutes and also stripping the desire to just throw a lot of shit in like what we've been getting, we got an actual, nice story that I actually enjoyed. So, yeah, let's just start off right where it begins. Once again, we got a weird joke. This time, Udius thinks they should order a massage chair, and Yuamu's like, no. What are the points of these? Why? I don't get it. But yeah, no, so this episode opens with our character of the day. This girl who looks like Mimi, is voiced by Mimi, and has a somewhat similar presentation to Mimi, but isn't. And presumably wouldn't be, because if we're that far in the future and Mimi was already 37, or would that be her granddaughter? I don't know what's fucking going on here. Also, Roa's voice actor was the other guy who she walked in with. But stuff. That's what I describe this show sometimes. But yeah, no. So we meet this girl who looks out, and I also like the filter they put over the screen when she shows up, really making it look like a hot, summer, kind of like what you think of when someone says a boonies town. You think kind of at least here in the States, we think sort of more kind of southernish, that's sort of really hot, kind of nothing really going on. I thought that captured that very well. But we essentially open with her, and she walks in, and she's kind of just pouty, ew, the boonies. And already I kind of enjoy the way Mimi's actress plays it. Because A, she did really good in Sevens. But I don't know, there was something very funny about just how sort of stuck up and bratty this kid was. She really seemed to be having fun playing her, and I think it made for a really enjoyable character. But yeah, so essentially then we check in with our main 3 kids, and we find out that UTS has been hired to do this sort of mini duel thing for a kind of dual rush duel show thing. But yeah, no, so they get hired to do this. There's this funny bit where the guy who looks like the drummer from Roa's band, yeah, where he goes, oh, you're UTS's new recruit, and just cuts UTS off when he's announcing his name. Little things like that are or even in the next scene, just seeing Yuri just stuff his face with potato chips. Little things like that is kind of what I want more of. But yeah, no, so then naturally the girl comes in, and you've seen this before. The shtick is she's now spoiled and stuck up, and even though she was Yuamu's friend when they were very little, all of that's gone. She doesn't even remember. The past is gone, and Yuamu reacts kind of in a way that's a lot more fun than before. So, my issue with Yuamu in her own episode was that she did everything interesting you'd want to see her do off screen. But here, she's just kind of blindsided and thrown in. And we'll go into how much of that was or wasn't a little later. But essentially, the way it's presented, she doesn't know why the other girl is acting so cold. She doesn't really know why she's so different. And I kind of like the idea of you seeing Yuamu out of her element. The idea is this girl is always in control, always in charge, always thinking ahead of everyone else, always has her brain moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute. And now she's just kind of been stumped, and how she reacts to that is kind of fun. And I enjoy it. And so yeah, that was good. Then we get to our other kind of B plot of the episode. which is Rival Guy, which until I remember his name is what he'll be called, because I don't want to say Gakudo's voice actor. Rival Guy shows up with his, like, alien catching squad, and I kind of think it's funny how they just look like a bunch of weird dog catchers. But yeah, they just kind of barge into this arena, and I know I had said that what I liked about them when they were first shown was they were shown to be competent and organized. Just seeing them walk in and confuse people isn't that, but it is kind of funny because the actor does a good job. And also, this is the Yu-Gi-Oh universe. It's already very strange, so I'll give it a pass for now. But yeah, no, so naturally, then everything kind of gets going. It's time for the girl pops in rudely. And also, like, you know the alien is the dog, but there's stuff sort of set up. You wonder how far it goes, and I'll get to that in a minute. But so essentially, this girl comes up immediately, even though the challengers were supposed to come up first. And Yuan was like, I'm doing this, I'm dueling her. And everyone just goes with it. No one gets in trouble for going off script, but hey, like they said, it's live TV. Also, the photography girl who Kaizo sexually harassed in Sevens is back. So there's that. But yeah, no, so the duel then starts, and I enjoyed this duel. It was actually fun. I like the fact that we're kind of just moving away from this stupid desire to only use normal monsters and kind of having the duels work on this strategy of sort of like you base everything around what your boss monster kind of does. But yeah, no, so the duel gets started, and like the only thing they explained was field spells, but a field spell was integral to the girl's strategy, so I was kind of okay with it. Also, I thought it was sort of fun that her cards are kind of like weird, like lolly kid versions of iconic, like sexy monsters. Type things. But again, that's kind of like Mimi's deck. What's going on here? And then her ace was like a weird lolly version of Diane Keto, where Mimi's ace was like an adult version of Diane Keto. What is happening here? But yeah, so the duel goes, and they start doing this very strange thing where Yuamu sort of finishes the other girl's thoughts and vice versa. And I was kind of like, what's going on? I don't get it. But then when you get to the end of the duel and Yuamu wins in a way that's actually pretty entertaining, like just like, boom, good card effect, suck it, Udius. I kind of buy this idea that maybe just like after a couple minutes she remembered they were playing. It didn't feel like she didn't know it didn't feel like she knew what was going on at first. But maybe just kind of that idea that she just kind of pieced it together that this was the game they liked to play, but also they set it up. That the two idolized actors and actresses, that they always look to them for inspiration, so I can kind of believe that the other girl would want to play this game. And I think they almost left it up to your choosing, like, did she know about that from the beginning? Did she not? I think that was kind of left for you to decide. I personally choose to believe Yuamu caught on as the duel went on. But yeah, no, so then naturally the duel ends with Yuamu winning, and everything's okay. They just kind of go back to being friends immediately. And again, this isn't like the most intellectually stimulating greatest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever, but it's fun. Let me have some fun. I still have no idea what the fuck's going on in this show in regards to everyone looking and sounding the same as Go Rush characters. Also, I wonder what the Kappa guy is going to fit into this. But I enjoyed myself, and that's kind of what I'm looking for until the plot resumes again. But yeah, no, so the episode ends with it's time to bring out the next opponent, and the cat's like, oh shit, the alien's here. And then the episode preview, the other guy gets to duel. And fuck it, I like that. I kind of like this character. I hope to see more cool shit from him. But we will talk about that next week. So in the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this episode and what you enjoyed about it or didn't like it, because again, not a lot of stakes going on. But as for the TCG question of the week, YCS Hartford is this coming weekend. It'll be our last big event until the weird Chicago sort of Nats, is Nats, maybe isn't Nats. They don't know what the fuck's going on event in July. So my question to you is, how do you think the tournament's going to go down? Do you think it could be an all Albaz sweep? Do you think Sword Soul might take it? Do you think Eldritch will reach level ahead? Do you think Flo Andrews will get their YCS? Because I don't know. I assume that the meta is very much going to be Despia, Sword Soul, which I'll be playing, and probably I want to say still Eldritch. They lost Prank Kids, which was one of their best matchups, but I think the deck still has a lot of variety and shit it can do. But we will see about that going forward. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and if you'll be in Hartford this weekend, come say hi.